Hi everyone, welcome back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. Hope you're all doing well today. But today I thought I was going to make some soup, so I think I'm going to take you in the kitchen and show you some soup. I'm going to do leek potato and watercress today, which is a wartime recipe I found in my wartime cookbook. And I just happen to have some watercress in the freezer. So yeah, so that's what I thought I'd do today. I'm even thinking of putting the fire on, it's a little bit... I'm even thinking of putting the fire on because it's a bit cold. I still haven't painted the top, just a sec, you wobble in. Yeah, I still haven't sorted the fire out or painted the top of it, so I'm going to have to sort that out before the fire goes back on. But you're a bit close there, right? You can see on the blackheads. That's better, I don't have to hold on to it now. Yeah, it's getting a bit cold here, and I thought, well, I might put the fire on. So I might put it on anyway, because it may only be on today and then it might not be on all weekend because the sun might come out, so we'll have to see. But yeah, they did forecast us nice weather, but it seems to have passed us by, so yeah. Anyway, I've been getting on with my jobs since my back's been getting better. It's still a bit, so I'm trying not to do too much heavy work just to give it a chance to heal, because the lovely Jen said, don't do any heavy lifting, think of the long term. So that's what I'm doing. Trying not to do too much heavy work and think of things I can do where I can just potter really with the dog. So he's back in bed, so I thought it'd give me a chance to get on with the soup and then see what else we get up to throughout the day, because I've got some shelves to do for my room upstairs, because I'm getting a sewing room set up upstairs, and that's where I'm going to be doing my make do amends section. I thought I'd set myself up there. I can have the heating on if I want to, if it's cold. I'll have the fire on and the heat rises, doesn't it? And both fires are going to be on in both rooms this year. So hopefully it's going to make it nice and warm up there. And I can always take a hot water bottle and put that on my lap and sit with Stripe upstairs and we can get cosy together. So that's the idea for that room. So that'll be coming up in next week's vlog, and I'll show you me setting up the room and getting organised for make to amend in the autumn. Because I've got some thoughts as to what I want to make. I've got a pattern, a vintage pattern for vintage aprons and coveralls. So I want to make myself a couple of aprons, and I was wondering whether to make some for my shop, for my Ko-fi shop, and pop them in. I want to make some pot holders, that you use for taking the thing off the kettles off the stove. So I'm thinking of making some of them, and I'm thinking of making some tea cozies as well. I've got a couple of real vintage ones to pop in my Ko-fi shop. And I'm just thinking of doing a little homewares shop, of making things to pop in the shop. I may make some little scarves as well. I'm going to do a vlog on how to put one of these on. This is my new way of putting it on today. And I feel like I like it. I don't need that velvet headband thing underneath. So that's quite handy. So yeah, I'll do a video on how to do that as well. So they're my thoughts and my plans. So I'm just going to go and get myself organised, got to go and clean my teeth, make my cup of coffee, and then I'll see you in the kitchen in a bit for making my soup for my lunch, because I am still doing my juices and my smoothies throughout the day, but I've decided with the colder weather coming, I need something warm, more substantial to keep me warm and cosy, so I'm adding soup to the mix. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm having bread at the weekend, homemade bread at the weekend, and soup each day, just one little portion of soup. So that's what I'm going to do in the kitchen. So I'll just get myself organised and then we'll go in the kitchen. So see you in a minute. We're in the kitchen and we are going to use the one pot that I've bought. And I'm not sure if I've shown it yet, but I've been putting some videos together on cooking with it. So hopefully they're going to be coming soon. I've been sorting out the vegetables because I'm doing leek potato and frozen watercress that I found in the freezer. So I'm going to pop that in. And I don't know whether you've seen, but my leeks are all starting to reroot at the bottom. And all of them are doing it. So what I've decided to do is, while I've got the leeks out, is even that broken one there is rooting underneath the break. So I'm going to cut the bottoms off and I'm going to plant them in some soil in the polytunnel. I'll plant them in the ground in the polytunnel, and we'll see if we can resprout the leeks. And I can just keep cutting the tops off and keep letting them grow. and we'll have leek greens because I haven't got any leeks in the ground at the moment. This year with all the rats, just haven't been able to do any food at all. It's been a bit of a non-starter really. Got a handful of runner beans, but other than that I've not really been able to do any food. I've got tomatoes, got plenty of tomatoes coming through, and I've had my first cucumber. A handful of runner beans and my first cucumber, and the cucumber is delicious, absolutely delicious. They were plants that I bought in the garden centre, they weren't mine, but they are gorgeous. So I've got some runner beans and I've got did have some cucumber. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the top off the leeks. I don't usually tend to use that white end anyway, just a preference of mine. For soup I prefer to use the green part and leave the other part for using for meals like roast dinners and casseroles and things like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I might make a bean casserole for tea, and I might do that on the stove because I might put the stove on today. It's a bit cold, even though the sun's around, it's still a bit cold. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll just get my knife. So all I'm going to do, I'll show you. I'm going to take that much off and let it regrow. So there's plenty to grow above the soil. Seems a bit wasteful, but if it's going to regrow, then it doesn't seem that wasteful to me. But the thing is, they're not very good leeks anyway. It looks like they went to seed. It looks like they sprouted. I don't know if you can see that in the centre, but that's a hard centre, and that means it was producing a flower when it was growing. So yeah, so I don't know whether you can see that with my dirty hands. There you go. That bit there is where the flower head was coming through, and all of them are like that. That one's terrible. This one here is terrible. So I've got 5. So they've all got roots on. So we'll take them in the polytunnel in a bit and we'll put them in some soil and we'll get them growing. But I'm just going to use 1 leek for my soup. In fact, I think I'm just going to use I'm going to use this one and keep the bigger ones for lunches. Because you don't need a lot. You really don't need a lot. So I'll turn the camera down and I'll show you me doing the soup. Instead of the olive oil, you could use butter, but I'm trying not to use butter because I'm doing a wartime challenge, so I'm just using a bit more oil. Now, I've got here some dill seeds, which I'm going to put in. I've got some chives, which are from the garden, and I've also got some mixed herbs. So I'm going to put a little bit of each in. what's left in hot water. Just let that mingle for a minute. If you don't have powdered garlic, ordinary garlic, you can use these. I've got powdered garlic and I've got lazy garlic. Now I like to use this. It's £1.19 in Lidl, and it's basically 1 teaspoon is 1 clove of garlic. So I like to put a couple of teaspoons of that in. But the powdered garlic is just as good. I buy mine in the health food shop. What I also have decided I'm going to put in is some split peas. Now, there you go. I buy these in Tesco's or supermarket, and at about £1.50 I think for a 500 or a kilogram bag. Can't remember. I'll go into the shops and I'll do a comparison for you when I go shopping this week. Just a sec. I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup. No, I'm not. I'm going to put half a cup, which is 2 quarter cups this size in there. And mine are mixed. I've got green and I've got, let me just turn you down. I've got green and got yellow in mine. So I'm using 2 cups, that size. Right, so that's that. Right, so that's all mingling again in the pan. I'm just going to boil the kettle and then we will add the water and get this thing cooking. Okay, so I've measured out a pint, that much water. I thought the camera was on, sorry. And I got rid of all that in the water. So that's now gone into my stock pot. And that's all I'm going to put in at this stage until it's cooked. Because I want everything to be able to cook quickly and I don't want the stock pot gathering steam for too long, because then it defeats the object of it being economical. That's going to sort itself out now, and then when it's cooked I'll come back. Now little Stripe, he's eaten 2 beds. I bought him this one the other day. He ate the label off it. I fixed it. And look at the damage he did overnight. He's suffering with a bit of anxiety since the storm the other night. Here he is. And yeah, he's not a very happy bunny, are you, Stripey? You going to say hello to everybody? Come and say hello. Here he is. Say hello to everybody. He's barking a lot at the moment as well because of that storm that we had the other day. Yeah, he's a bit barky, a bit grumpy, a bit fretful, and I think that's why he's at his beds. Because he had the other one, you know. I got him a donut bed a while ago, and he's eaten a big hole in that as well. So I need to repair them. But he's after my attention now, so I'm going to go and give him a bit of attention, a bit of fuss, go and play with him, try not to hurt my back again, and yeah, just go and have a little bit of fun with my puppy. So see you in a bit. Okay, so the soup's cooked and there's no liquid in there at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the potato masher on it and just give it a good mash. Because once everything's all nice and soft, it goes nice. So I like a bit of texture to my soup, you see, and I don't like to put it through this type of soup. Winter warming soup has to have a bit of texture in my mind. Out my kettle. And just eyeball it as to how much thickness you want on your soup. I like my soups to be quite thick. And add a bit more. It's probably another pint. Let's say another pint. All done. So you can season it to taste when you're ready to serve. But for now, that's ready. So I'm just going to leave that in there with the lid on. And I store it in there and that keeps it nice and fresh. Right. Okay, so I think that's it for the soup recipe. Hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, do you know what I forgot to put in? The watercress. Oh, how silly am I? It's supposed to be a watercress soup and I forgot the watercress. You've ended up with a split pea and leeking potato instead. I'll do the watercress next time. It's in the freezer anyway, so I'll do that for the next recipe. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Bye for now.